I can think of nothing more important for an assembly to do than to ensure that elections are held fairly.
We're here because the government once again lost another court case.
Emergency debate over using the notwithstanding clause continued into the weekend at the Ontario Legislature. This over a Ford government election financing law aimed at third parties' ability to launch attack ads.
PCs and Tim Hudak have plans to radically cut our health care.
Gas plant scandal, cash for access, e-health.
The law was rejected by a provincial judge earlier this week, ruling it was unconstitutional. But Section 33 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, known as the Notwithstanding Clause, does allow governments to override or bypass certain charter rights, effectively bypassing the judge's ruling. Critics are calling the move a power play aimed at silencing opposition ahead of next June's election, while the progressive Conservative government has argued the changes are necessary to protect elections from outside influence.
We heard from the Chief Electoral Officer that the influence of third parties prior to there being a law was something that this legislature had to deal with. So when the judge voided that decision, of course we were going to come back here and work all through the night to get it done so that we could have an effective law in place.
The law the government is working to restore doubles the restricted third-party ad spending period from 6 to 12 months before an election campaign gets underway, but keeps the spending limit of $600,000 the same. Liberals this weekend saying they support third-party spending limits, but taking issue with the methods of the government.
100%. It was Liberal law that limited third-party spending in the first place. What we're not open to is not respecting the rule of law, not respecting our fundamental rights and freedoms, and bullying our way through the courts and overriding the charter.
The government's priorities are completely misplaced. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We've had a horrific Islamophobic incident happen. Our children are not in school, and the Premier is violating our charter rights in order to silence his critics before an election. It makes absolutely no sense.
Debate is expected to continue over the next several days. If the notwithstanding clause is invoked, it would be the first time in Ontario history. At Queen's Park, David Zura, City News.